Come on, like, give me the big names. Give me the big authors. Or give me
I've never gotten to answer that question. The like, what did you have for breakfast? Like, checking the levels question. So here we go.
What is the best part of the show?
Seeing people. It's my favorite. There are so many wonderful booksellers and authors and editors and publishers and distributors in our community, and I really enjoy just getting to catch up with people year after year.
The box lunches are delicious.
I'm Joe Beal, the founder and CEO of Microcosm Publishing. I'm also the author of A People's Guide to Publishing, which distills what I've learned from selling millions of books over the past 28 years.
I'm Elly Blue, the Vice President of Microcosm. We started this podcast to share what we've learned with newer publishers, so you can learn from our mistakes. Or maybe you just want to learn about the publishing industry.
This week, we bring you on-site reporting from the Pacific Northwest Booksellers Fall Show. Forum? Let's go with show.
Trade show. We went to a regional trade show for booksellers.
Multiple.
Yeah, Bernie didn't go, but he's here to comment anyway. He has opinions.
What did we learn?
Well, we spent the show... Normally we spend the show standing behind a table talking to our books, about our books to booksellers. This year we decided to record interviews for our podcast, and the funny thing is we thought we would mostly be recording booksellers, but most booksellers didn't want to talk to us. They were feeling shy of the camera, I think.
It's weird. It's like they're introverts.
It is like that. We got one bookseller on tape who was so great to talk to, and we actually talked to a bunch of our fellow publishers, and that was super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Laura Stanfill, Forest Avenue Press.
My name is Michelle, and I own Raspberry Bow Press.
We publish 12 books usually a year.
My name is Catherine D. Morgan. I am the owner of Grand Gesture Books, which is a romance bookstore coming to Portland, Oregon, and I'm also on the board of the PMBA.
My name's Isaac Peterson. I'm a new publisher, Green City Books.
I'm Angela Engel, and my press is the Collective Book Studio, and we're located out of Oakland, California.
My name is Chelsea Kern. I'm the programs director at CLMP, which is the Community of Literary Magazines and Presses. My goal is for more people to learn about Raspberry Bow Press, to see the 2 books that we're currently promoting, ultimately to get our books into more bookstores.
What's your goal here at PNBA?
To share recent and new books with booksellers and to further our brand as a company. We're a very pro-independent bookstore, and by showing up at this trade show, we continue those relationships and continue to build on the brand and our Pacific Northwest community roots.
So I've come up really for networking, to see my Simon & Schuster sales team, for them to meet our authors. We had an author at the Nightcapper, Jen Newens, who did Monday Night Mocktails. Everyone needs a mocktail these days. Discoverability is still always an issue for an independent press, and so that's really why I'm here, for discoverability.
At PMBA, so whenever we go to like a more regional show like this, we try to really highlight our members who are from the region. So we've brought a bunch of titles from presses that are based in the Pacific Northwest, like in Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Alaska, British Columbia. So we've got like a bunch of their most recent titles on the table and are just trying to put those in front of booksellers.
And my goal here is really to let all these booksellers know how many Pacific Northwest authors we have and what's coming up. And to really, in bookselling, it's painful, but it's like bookseller to publisher, relationship by relationship. So we're building them, but it's going to take a while.
I don't know. I don't have business cards or anything. I have some ARCs with me, maybe people recognizing me in the future at other conferences. And there's already people I know here.
My goal at PMBA is always to make connections, and which is especially important now that I'm opening the store. Like last year when I came here, I was with bookshop.org, which I still work for, actually. I've been hinting at the store. Like I was like, I want to open a store, yada, yada, yada. And people were, very excited. But now that it's like a store, like the energy is almost insane, but like also loudly stoked about me as a person, which feels very I feel like Chapel Roan right now.
Like I look at it as, even if we have a small amount of initial orders, like the likelihood that stores will reorder over time. Ideally, we're selling books, but we're also just getting more exposure so that people can learn who we are.
Figuring out what I want to sell in the store, and just chatting and making new friends, and also getting a ton of books that will sit on my dresser.
How do you measure the success and know how successful you've been?
I don't know right away because I'm not taking orders. We have distribution through Publishers Group West, and so I don't really see the direct sales happen at the show. But what I see is a continued appreciation for Forest Avenue titles, and I see booksellers putting our books face out, giving us shelf talkers, sharing them in newsletters, and inviting us to an event or saying yes to events when I go asking down the road. So it's definitely a long tail response when we're at the show.
I should be more analytical. I'm sure you guys are. But I do it by the notes I've taken in the booksellers I have to reach out to. And I don't really monitor how many sales come out of it or anything like that. It's just kind of this sort of inner feeling of joy I got from meeting all the booksellers. Totally not scientific. Sorry.
I would measure success by one really strong contact that I can then foster. So for example, a conversation that I maybe have with American Booksellers Association, a really about their conference that's happening in winter, and talk about what I could see in programming, and if that follows through, that's a success of the show. Another success example is I met a library system that has 12 branches on the coast of Oregon, and one of our authors has a grant from the state of Oregon to do culture programming, so we get to travel her for a year under this grant, and so maybe she can go now to all the branches. So two of those things, if we fulfill those, that's success to me at the show.
I think that I will know that this was a successful use of my time, coming here. It's just the feeling I get. This is only my second PMBA, but I loved last year. I love this year. Any book conference I go to, I really love, just because I love the energy of book people. And it's just it's such a unique energy, and it just it's like a warm, fuzzy feeling, but it makes me really excited. It's to go out there and sell more books.
Well, I feel successful when I have just connected with people and met new people, and hopefully those are people that I will talk to again, whether or not they are giving me money for books, So I've already talked to people who just I think will be great resources for me, and I hope I can be that for other people. Hopefully we hear from our members that they're yeah, we heard from some booksellers afterwards, that's the best case scenario, but it's also kind of just about making connections with the booksellers here and making sure that next time we go, they know that CLMP is a place that they can go to find out about what's happening with indie presses. We talked early on, if we sell enough books to have covered the price of our table, that is success.
Nurturing that relationship, continuing that relationship between independent publishing and independent bookselling, and continually having the dialogue around how we can be stronger together in some of the same issues, which are small businesses, and how discoverability, SEO, all of the things in marketing that it takes for a publishing house actually also takes for a bookstore. That is probably my biggest takeaway for this show, which I'm excited about.
It just encourages such creative, warm energy, and being around people who love books. And it's the idea that something that I do is impactful in so many ways, that will always be a success to me. And I think anytime I go to any of these events, it's a success.
One of the things that we've been thinking about a lot this year is about trade shows and what is the value of them? What are the costs and what are the benefits? And we've been trying to do that math in a lot of different ways. And we thought we'd ask our fellow publishers how they did that math, and the answers will soon be revealed.
Mm-hmm. So these next 7 episodes are all shot from PNBA, all the same day.
Ooh.
Thanks for joining us once again.
Please send your questions to podcast@microcosmpublishing.com so we can answer them on future episodes.
And please give us 5 stars on iTunes and everywhere else that podcasts are reviewed.
You can find us on the internet at microcosm.pub,
on Twitter at microcosm,
on Facebook at Microcosm Publishing,
on Instagram at microcosm_pub,
and here in Portland, Oregon on North Williams Avenue.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful week.
This is a really hard question.
Thank you so much.